What's up, guys? This is PVM Vertigo, and this is a video targeted towards those people who kind of want to start either streaming or recording but don't know really how to do it. Either they don't know what programs to use, which one's the best, they think their computer can't handle it, or whatever. So I've compiled 5 different programs that you can use to record or stream, and each one is a little bit different and optimized for different things. So we pretty much have you covered. So just keep in mind that this is not in any particular order. This is not the top 5. This is just 5 that I think are the best at what they do. So let's get right on to the first software. Alright, so first up we have Open Broadcaster Software. Also known as OBS. It is free, of course, because it's open. That means it's open source. And so yeah, it is free. It's not like some of the other ones that we have on here that cost money. And it excels at one thing: streaming. And yeah, lots of Twitch streamers use it. The quality is very, very good for Twitch and streaming, but I think that it falls short on actual gameplay footage, like recording onto your disk drive. I've tried it. I tried recording with it for YouTube, and I could not use it. I used it only once in one of my Portal videos, and it was very washed out. It wasn't that great of quality, and it had small files, but I still had to convert it into the right format to edit it in Sony Vegas, and it was just a pain. So I'd recommend it for streaming, but I would not recommend it for recording for YouTube. So that's my thoughts on our first one, Open Broadcaster Software. Alright, so up second we have Dxtory. And from what I've seen and from what I've heard on Reddit and forums, is that this actually is one of the better recording softwares for YouTube because the images and videos it takes are just so beautiful. The only real con is that uh, it just it takes up so much space. I remember from someone who was talking to me about it. It takes up like 14 gigabytes per 1 minute or 5 minutes or something like that. And I would recommend it if you're only gonna post a few videos and you don't really have to, record a whole ton of stuff in one time. You can just do one project at a time. That's the only time I would use this program, is because it just uses up so much space. But the images and videos do look nice, I gotta say. Apparently it also takes 0 performance hit, and it records with little impact on FPS. So that's always nice. Makes it a little bit better than our next program. But I'd still only recommend it to people who are only going to record a few videos at a time. Otherwise your hard drive space will just go so fast. It is $35, and this is good for people who don't have graphics cards and they just kind of want to record with the close to no performance hit, but they can't use a graphics card software. That's my thoughts on this program. Okay, so of course, I'm sure you've probably heard about Fraps. Fraps used to be like the king of recording software, but it's kind of fallen out in the last year or so. But it still remains a good contender. It records very nice. It has a little bit of a performance hit, a little bit, like I'd say about 10 to 15%. I lag a lot when I use it. That's why I don't use Fraps. The amount of data it takes up is quite a lot. It's not as much as Dxtory. I'd say it's about half as much. But I mean, personally, I'd still only use it if you're going to record like a few videos. You can record a little bit more at a time than Dxtory. You still have to pay for it though. You still have to pay through PayPal. That's the only thing. It's not freeware like OBS again. A lot of good YouTubers used to use it. I've said before that it has fallen on the last few years, but it is always still a good contender if you do not have a graphics card and just want to record some Minecraft or something, or maybe some League of Legends or Dota. So that's my thoughts on Fraps. Okay, so our next two softwares are both going to be from graphics card companies, and they are going to be some of the better ones. They came out like in the last year or so, and they are pretty much now king of the YouTube recording scene. The first one is AMD Gaming Evolve slash Raptor slash GVR. GVR is the actual name of the recording software that's built inside of it. And surprisingly, it only takes it takes a little bit of a performance hit to your graphics card, and you need an AMD graphics card to run it. But you can use an NVIDIA card with it, but I'd recommend to not use it because our next software uses NVIDIA exclusively. But the file sizes are really, really small. It just records a standard MP4 instead of like a 50 gigabyte AVI format. It can also stream directly to Twitch. I've heard good things about it on Twitch. But one of the most important things about the software is that you just kind of keep it open the entire time. And if you do that, it has a nice little replay feature I've heard about. And basically what happens is if you have the software open and say you're in DayZ, you kill like 6 people in like 20 seconds or something crazy like that, and you just really want to record it, and it's already happened, but Raptor or GVR was already recording that. It has backed up for you, so you can just hit the replay button and it'll record it right to your hard drive. So that's a nice little useful feature that you get when you use an AMD graphics card and this software. But the only thing about this software is that it can be a little buggy. My friend used to use it, and apparently it crashes a lot. It sometimes doesn't record, but when it does, it is a very, very good software. So that's just my thoughts on AMD Raptor/GVR. Okay, so up next we have my recording software. This is what I use. I use NVIDIA GeForce Experience's Shadowplay. And the Shadowplay, the actual feature that Shadowplay actually is kind of like a replay thing, like we talked about in the AMD GVR/Raptor thing. It is a lot less buggy than AMD's GVR, partially because it has been out for longer. It records smaller files just like AMD's GVR. And I'd say it's probably one of the better softwares out there. I use it because I can basically record 4 hours of DayZ and only have to set aside like 20 gigabytes or maybe 10 gigabytes, possibly even stuff like 4 gigabytes. I've had that happen a few times. This is only available to NVIDIA graphics cards, unlike AMD's GVR, which is available to all graphics cards, NVIDIA or AMD's Radeon cards. And it's the same gist basically. You always have it on. It always has a little overlay in the top right corner or whatever corner you set it to be. You can hit F10 whenever you want to record the last 5 minutes or 20 minutes, however much you've configured it for. So it's good again for if you kill a bunch of people in DayZ and you want to record it. The only few issues that I've come across or heard about is there are some bugs. There's some sound bugs if you record for very, very long periods of time, like 4 or 5 hours worth. It sometimes messes up your audio and you just lose all that work. Also, another obvious con is that only NVIDIA users can use it. So if you already have an AMD graphics card, I'm sorry, you apparently cannot use this software. That's another thing I don't like. AMD took one and developed it for both cards, but NVIDIA just wants to use their cards on their software, which is understandable. But it is still a big con. Not everybody has an NVIDIA graphics card, especially if you don't have a graphics card at all. It kind of is not that great for you. But all in all, if you have all the stuff required for this, it is a great software. It has a 0% performance hit. You will not lag with it. Again, only issue is some bugs. It is the best recording software out there. Can't really think of any that would compete with it besides actual standalone capture cards. Even though this software comes up really, really close to actual capture cards in May, with a few updates, it might even be better to buy an NVIDIA graphics card and use this software than actually going out and buying a capture card. We'll see how this works. That's just my thoughts on Shadowplay. So all in all, if you want to record your gameplay, using one of these 5 softwares will probably get you in the right direction. It should be good for you. What I recommend is NVIDIA Shadowplay or Raptor. For Apps and DX Story, they used to be really good. In my personal preference, they use up too much hard drive space. If that's not an issue, I'd say always use those. But I hope you guys enjoyed this video anyway. If you did not know any recording softwares, then I hope I helped you some. Have fun recording your gameplay. This is PVM Vertigo. Peace out.